Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video on rent-to-own financing. If you're considering purchasing a home but are not quite ready to take on that traditional mortgage, rent-to-own could be an option for you. Today, we'll be discussing what rent-to-own financing is, how it works, and the pros and cons to help you make an informed decision. This is Brian Mason with Signature Move Real Estate, and let's get started. Now, what is rent-to-own financing? Rent-to-own financing, also known as lease-to-own, or lease option, is an alternative home buying method that allows potential buyers to lease a property with the option to purchase it at a later date. This arrangement can be especially appealing for those that may not have enough money saved for a down payment or need a little bit of extra time to improve their credit score. Now, how does rent-to-own financing work? A rent-to-own agreement involves three main components. You have that lease term, the purchase option, and the rent premium. The lease term is known as the period during which you'll rent the property, typically between 1 to 3 years. During this time, you're considered a tenant and are also responsible for paying the rent and maintaining the property. Number 2, purchase option. At the beginning of the lease, you and the seller agree on a purchase price for the property. This price is often locked in for the duration of the lease term, regardless of the fluctuations in the market. And number 3, rent premium. In addition to your monthly rent, you'll pay a rent premium, which is a portion of your rent that's set aside and credited towards your future down payment. Now, keep in mind that if you decide not to buy this property, you typically won't get this money back. At the end of the lease term, if you decide to proceed with purchasing the property, you'll apply for a mortgage and use the rent premium that you've accumulated as part of your down payment. Now, let's discuss some of the advantages of rent-to-own financing. Number 1, you're able to build credit and savings. Rent-to-own agreements give you that time to improve your credit score and save for a down payment while still maintaining your goal of home ownership. Number 2, you're able to lock in a purchase price. By agreeing on a purchase price up front, you're protected from the potential increases in property value during the lease term. And number 3, you're able to test drive the property. Living in the home before buying it allows you to experience the neighborhood, identify any issues, and decide if this home is truly the right fit for you. Now, what are some of the cons to rent-to-own financing? Well, number 1 is there's limited inventory. Rent-to-own properties, they're just not that common. And this really limits your options on what type of home you're able to get when you're searching for that home. Number 2 is the potential loss investment. If you decide not to buy that property, you will typically forfeit that rent premium you've been paying during the lease term, which could be tens of thousands of dollars. And lastly, your responsibility for maintenance. As a tenant, you'll be responsible for maintaining the property, which can be costly if unexpected repairs are needed. Now, rent-to-own financing can be a viable option for those individuals who need time to improve their financial situation before committing to a traditional mortgage. However, it's important to carefully weigh the pros and cons before entering into a rent-to-own agreement. If you're considering this option, it's such a great idea to consult with a real estate professional and a financial advisor to ensure that you're making the best decision for you and your unique circumstances. Now, I want to thank you for watching this, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more real estate information and tips. This is Brian Mason. Until next video, next time, I'm out.